So I got two questions in a row that sound something like this. Elliot, I was dating this chick for several years. Things were great. She was the love of my life. Then we broke up, which is fine. But now all of a sudden, she's dressing real sexy, flirting with my friends, and generally trying to make my life miserable by making me jealous. How do I go about dealing with her? Now, without me going on a long discourse as to her issues with her and her daddy that is causing her to behave the way she is, I want to give you some practical advice about dealing with her, but also dealing with people in your environment who you're drawn towards, but consciously or rationally would like to say and do say, I need to separate myself from you. Right? You've broken up, but she's making you jealous. The reason why she's making you jealous is because there's a part of you, your body, that is still linked to her. So if you were dating her for several years, perhaps you were having sex, I'm sure you were, and you were snuggling and cuddling and breathing in each other's ears. Your body, your unconscious, became very much entwined with this other individual. There's an energetic union that's still there. Even though the mind and our choices have created separation, there's still a deep union there. It's funny, I'm going to tell you a strange story. When I was in college, my wife and I, Colleen, who is still my wife, we would break up, for a few months here and there, or just, get in fights. And I'd say to myself, I'm done. I can't deal with you anymore. I don't want to do it. And we'd break up. And then a few weeks or so later, I'd see her. We'd be like, we just kind of happen to see each other. And my heart rate is going up and my dick gets hard instantly. It's like, I don't want her. I don't want to be with her. But all of a sudden, my whole body is like, but you can't help it, dude, because I'm so ingrained, I'm so tangled up with her energy, her sexual energy. It's very hard to break up with someone who you're still energetically entwined with, and you're still obviously energetically entwined with her, because if you weren't, the shit that she's doing would have absolutely no bearing on you. There are lots of other girls that dress sexily, that flirt in front of you with your friends, that you probably don't get jealous about. And it's because of this connection that you still have with her. They often say that the opposite of love is hate, right? So if you can cultivate this feeling of hate towards her because of these behaviors, right? And they say there's a thin line between love and hate. So it's like she's doing all this shit. You used to love her with all of your heart, body, and soul, mind, body, and soul, but now she's acting like an asshole and you can start to hate her. But hate is a funny thing because, like they say, the thin line between love and hate, by you becoming jealous and developing hateful feelings towards her, you're not going to push her away from you. I know that's probably what's happening. You become infuriated, enraged. Guess what? It is coming from the same energetic root as love. Love and hate are an interesting thing in this way. I'm not saying like racism, hate, or things like that. I'm talking about some other people in your life, particularly women or men, if opposite sex is who you've been enrolled with. You can love them one day and abhor them the next, because it's the same energy taking on different masks, if you will. The opposite of love really is apathy. The opposite of love is just not giving a shit, not caring, being unmoved completely. So when you have totally removed your body from its warm feelings that it still has for this girl, which are not wrong in any way, shape, or form, but they don't support what you've decided for yourself, when you've actually removed yourself in the way that's most resourceful for the decision you've made, you will just not feel anything around her. It won't be a matter of pushing her away. It'll be a matter of, she's doing this shit and I don't even notice. Oh, she's wearing something hot today? Because I didn't notice. How do you do this? How do you create this circumstance where your body is no longer pulling you towards the circumstance that it doesn't support the choice that you've already made? I've been speaking a lot about this lately. A lot of the things I say are always the same in a way, but I use different ways to describe how to go about it, or I share different methods, techniques, and ideas that might support you. And recently I've been speaking a lot about how to use your conscious mind to embed messages on your unconscious. Your body is your unconscious. You don't consciously make your dick hard. You don't say, dick, get hard, and your dick gets hard. No. Same thing with your heart rate. You don't say, heart rate, I need you to go up. It's unconscious. The shit just happens. But there is a way to embed messages, subtle stories upon yourself, if repeated over and over again with enough intensity, that guide the unconscious to do what you would like it to do. You can brainwash. That's what brainwashing is. It's using your conscious attention or the environment around you to embed messages upon your unconscious, upon your autonomic nervous system. Right? See, I say unconscious, but it's, you know, for many months I was saying autonomic nervous system. Okay? It's like I'm just using different language to speak to different people from different perspectives. But your autonomic nervous system, if you will. You know, use your central nervous system to talk to your autonomic nervous system. You can use it to guide the behavior of your autonomic nervous system. I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it when I first found out that I was gluten intolerant for a while, and I wanted to remove all foods that I knew were junk from my diet. This was many years ago, about 10 years ago, maybe even longer, including gluten, which was very hard. I mean, I'd see a cupcake, or I'd see bread or whatever it was, and unconsciously I would start salivating. You know, you see certain foods and it's like, you don't tell yourself, you don't say, hey, that food looks good, salivate, mouth. You salivate, and then it's like, that's why cravings, you have cravings. You don't do cravings, cravings happen in your body. But I knew that I had to stop myself from these cravings. So I started telling myself the story that cookies, cupcakes, and foods of that sort were for women and children. And I made myself believe this. I said, grown men don't eat cupcakes. I mean, honestly, guys, those of you guys who diet, like, you could say that to yourself, giggle, right? I mean, that makes you move in your body when you say that, because it's like, yeah, cupcakes. What are you, a fucking 6-year-old? What are you, in kindergarten, or you're a woman? That's for women and children. Go to women and children birthday parties, right? Oh, you're eating a piece of cake with pink frosting on it, huh? You little baby boy? Mama's boy? Want a cupcake? Want a cookie? Crackers? So you can see what I did there. You can play this game with yourself, and I did that, and it was just like, yeah, I don't eat junk food because it's for babies. It's for little kids. Are you at a birthday party? And it's for women, right? And of course, you women that are watching this, you know, maybe say that it's for men. I have no idea, but this is the story that I used to brainwash myself out of eating junk food. Now you do the same thing with absolutely anything that you want to remove your autonomic nervous system's response to, your unconscious response to. And you start picking it apart, and you know, it's not that this is real. It's just a matter of, you've got to tell yourself a story. People understand. The story you tell yourself, whether true or not, guides your life. So many people believe in stories that are not resourceful for them, that make their lives miserable. But if you can be objective about the stories you choose to enroll in and to guide yourself with, you're really in the steering wheel of your life. You really have the steering wheel of your life in your hands. What a powerful place to be. I'm going to choose what stories I'm going to allow to guide my life. Fascinating, right? Really important. Religion, and this is where religion comes in, and you've got to start considering, what life views do I want to support me in where I want to be and who I want to be in life? Was I born sinful and evil, and then I'm going to be condemned to hell if I touch my pee-pee? Well, hey, look, I'm not good. True or false, I don't really give a shit. How's that shit working out for you? Right? You've got anxiety, you're sick, sad, depressed, and your dick don't work. It's just not working for you. It's a story. It's a fucking story. True or false really isn't the issue. It's a story. Rant done. But start telling yourself a story about this girl. Of course she might be beautiful, but you've got to start saying to yourself, boy, like I really can't stand that mole on her chin. It looks like a fucking alien about to pop out of her jaw. Right? Now, you can giggle at that. Every time you giggle, anytime you laugh, anytime you cry, your body's getting involved. So make yourself giggle. Right? Of course she's hot, but like, just find something a little bit nasty about her that you can pick on, and every time she's around, just be like, oh, her breath always smells like butthole or something like that, you know? Or maybe the way she laughs. Oh, when she laughs, it sounds like a fucking hyena that's getting raped by an elephant. Just come up with something funny that you can tell yourself about how disgusting she is to your unconscious, to your body. brainwash yourself with these stories, and you'll find that over time. Now, don't build malicious ideas about her. You don't need to say that she's an evil person and she's bad and she's going to get run over by a truck and pissed on by a raccoon. Like, oh, that's like you're being vicious and you're being violent about it. Just say, you know, the mole looks like that she's got a piece of shit on her chin all the time. Maybe she eats shit, right? You don't have to tell it. And what I would do is avoid telling anybody else this stuff, right? I say this shit in front of cameras. People pick me apart, but that's my job. Don't go tell your friends that, she's got shit on her chin, that mole on her chin, it's because she eats poop. Because now, again, that's violent. Now you're stabbing her in the back and you're doing things to affect her. This is just for you. This is just privately, right? So when she's around and, you know, everybody thinks she's so hot and you're giggling, right? Giggle to yourself. You'll ultimately become free from your body's entanglement with her. I hope you can see the power of what I just shared with you in the root concern, the root invitation, which is to realize that your autonomic nervous system, the beating of your heart and the raising of your dick is in many ways, in a lot of ways, under the control of the stories that you tell yourself. Just think about, you know, when you jerk off. Right? You ever masturbate and it's like, there's no woman here. You're not even looking at porn, but you're thinking about something, right? It gets your dick hard. You can have a fucking ejaculation just with the ideas in your head. You can think about things that make you happy, things that make you sad, things that draw you closer and push you apart. The idea here, my friend, is the jealousy is yours. You're creating it. Now stop creating it. In fact, all feelings are yours. And it's up to you to decide how to create, separate, and deal with them. You're not a victim of them. Done.